Welcome to Candidly Chanel, and today we're going to talk about something that I think is important for everybody and that a lot of people do struggle with. And today I'm going to talk about the power of forgiveness. Forgiving people is probably one of the hardest things that I think human beings have trouble doing. When people have done things to you that are unacceptable, grimy, dirty, despiteful, vindictive, and hurtful, it is very hard to gather that power and strength to forgive them. And I have been trying to work on self-improvement within myself, and with my self-improvement, part of that is learning how to forgive people. And I recently been reading the book Destiny by T.D. Jakes, and that book has opened my eyes to having a better mindset. And I just recently started telling myself that the price you pay to have a peace of mind, actually there is no price. It's priceless. And I said, when I die, or when it's my time to leave this earth, I want to die with a smile on my face, with my red lipstick on, and be at peace about everything in my life. And in order to be at peace about everything that's going on in your life, you have to forgive people and let it go. I recently went through a very difficult, nasty breakup, and a part of the healing process is having to forgive him and move on. Like, I don't want to harbor no old and nasty feelings, and dismiss my blessings because I'm still thinking these crazy and nasty things about him. And as bad as I was hurt, I had to find in myself to realize that everything has a forgiveness. Everything has to have forgiveness, and it happens for a reason. And forgiveness is free. You don't have to pay for that. But you have to really, really search for the inner strength to forgive people. And as bad as people have done things to me, I try not to be that person who wants to do something back to them because I am mad and I am hurt. God forgives us all the time for the things that we've done. And I say to myself, how can I ask God to forgive me for something that I've done if I can't forgive what people have done to me? And as humans, it's hard to forgive people because you have so many emotions about what has happened to you that you're like, forgive forgiveness. I'm not going to forgive them. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm not going to speak to them. I'm just going to be bitter. And to me, this is how I look at forgiveness. And it's taken me some time to get there. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm working on it as part of this whole self-improvement thing with myself. You really have to think about how you treat people. And regardless of what they do and say to you, I'm the type of person who has to think about what I'm going to say. Like, I'm a processor. So I process what I'm going to say or how I'm going to act. I try not to let that dragon loose, the one that just lashes out and says whatever and does whatever. I've been trying to contain her. So I say this to people: what you do unto others will be done unto you. So in the world language, meaning karma, she doesn't play around. And people should believe in karma, because stuff may not happen to you now, but she does come back as she's making her rounds. She gets everybody. She really does. And that's why I say I want to try to be more of a forgiving type spirit, because I don't want my blessings to be counted out because of the account of someone else, And I was just telling my mama, like, I don't want to go to hell on the account of nobody else. Like, I can do my own damage and be going to hell for myself. But I don't want to be that type of person who does not have a forgiving spirit. And I tell myself all the time, like I said, I'm a work in progress. I've been working on this, when people say things to me or have done things to me, really just letting it go. Like, just close your eyes and be like, and it takes time. It takes work. But we have to learn how to forgive people. As hard as it is, as bad as you don't want to, forgiving somebody and letting it go is so much greater than holding on and being so hostile. Because I do believe that stuff, it's contagious. And the devil, the devil is a powerful person too. And you don't ever want the devil to eat your soul. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm not even laughing because it's funny. It's just how real it sets in. And you especially see this thing when bad stuff has happened to you or you've been in difficult situations. It makes you sit back and really think about what it is in life that matters. And I would rather be that person instead of like I used to be, because I have a warrior spirit. I will fight any battle down to the ground when there's no fight left. But I've had to learn that every battle is not meant to have a fight. Some things you need to let go and walk away from. And it is hard. It is so hard because I'm the type of person, not necessarily want to get the last word, but if I feel strongly about something, I'm going to argue you down about it and stand by what I believe in, even if you've done something wrong to me. But you know what? After really having time to reflect on life and going through this whole self-improvement, I just rather let some things go that people have done to me, pray about forgiving them, and it doesn't happen overnight. Let me tell you, it does not happen overnight. Forgiveness is a process. But if you want God to forgive you for the nasty things that you've done to people, why can't you forgive people? And you really have to ask yourself that, because if God was to come down and say to you, Chanel, I'm not going to forgive you for this, and this. Well, I'm up the creek then. And that's how I look at it. Like, and you know, God is powerful and we're all humans and we all make mistakes. And you know, it's really hard. And it's something you really have to sit down and self-reflect on about forgiving the people who have hurt you and done you wrong. Because once you forgive them and let it go, that sense of relief and that calmness, it feels so much better. And you know, and I've been the type of person, it took me a while to let go of things and forgive people, but I'm learning. And as I'm learning, it gets better. I've gotten better. And I tell people, regardless of what people have done to you, as bad as it has been, the audacity that they have had, try in your power to learn how to forgive these people. Because sometimes some people just don't know any better. I mean, if you think about it, they just don't know any better. So why dismiss your blessings and your forthcoming to where you got to go or where you need to be because of somebody else? Listen, I don't know. I'm just not going to miss out on what the world has for me because of nonsense. And again, as I tell you, it's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm a witness. It's easier said than done. But take it day by day because it really is a process. It really is a process. And you have to have a lot of strength and power to forgive people sometimes. And then you be sometimes thinking, like when you see them, and you have that mental flashback to what they did, and that devil jumps on that tongue or in that mind or on that shoulder. But you have to remember, peace is priceless. And I be telling myself that sometimes when I'm thinking about things that happened in my past, and I'll say peace is priceless and forgiveness is free. You don't pay for nothing for that. So, you know, don't miss out on opportunities in life because you did not want to move on from a situation and forgive people. And as I said before, it does take time. You have to work at forgiveness just like you have to work at a job, a relationship, raising kids. It takes work. But you know what? The more you work at it, the easier it will get. And I'm telling you, I have liked what I've seen for myself in the past 3 months of like changing my mind and my perspective on things and people and things that people have done to me. I really have been trying to be more evaluating on myself and being like, I'm not going to let anybody suck my soul or energy anymore. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Like, I don't want to have wrinkles, and I'm scared of needles, so therefore, if I have wrinkles, I have to get Botox, and I don't want any of that. So I'd rather just have a calm spirit. Like I said, it's been work to just not let people get me riled up where I have to work that much harder in this process of forgiveness. And I've had to forgive some people who's done some not so nice things to me. But you know what? I've come to terms that that's the right thing to do. And it's actually the right thing to do for yourself. Not necessarily to do it for them, but to do it for yourself. It's very important you do it for yourself. If anything, just do it for you. So if you've had issues about, the power of forgiveness, there's plenty of Bible verses in the Bible that I've been reading to try to help me in this process. And, just reading books that uplift your spirit and pray about it. Prayer is also a powerful thing, and you need to pray to God to give you the power to learn how to be more forgiving and to forgive people. So if there's been a situation where it's been difficult, that you haven't forgave somebody that you would love to share, or that was a bad situation and you did learn to forgive them and you want to share that process, you can please post it down at your discussion board. Or if you have any questions about that you want to ask that maybe I can help you with, please feel free to email me at autumnchanel87@gmail.com. So now it's time for the what should I do question of the day, and let me see what lucky question I have. Oh boy. So this question is, my ex is dating someone else and we have a child together. We believe in disciplining our child, but I am not sure how I feel about his girlfriend disciplining our child. What should I do? Well, oh boy. Jeez. I don't have children at this current time, but I've always told people if I was to ever have children, I would never be too keen on other people besides me and the father disciplining my child. I just don't believe that it's anybody else's place to whoop your children. I feel like kids react differently to different forms of discipline. Timeout may work, taking away things may work, and I just don't think always spanking your child is always necessarily the right thing to do when punishing your kids. And if you're having issues with your ex's girlfriend disciplining your kids, maybe y'all should all sit down and talk about it, and you and him should talk about it and have that open line of communication to be on the same page. Because I don't know if maybe his girlfriend might not want, she may not feel comfortable doing that. And if your child is going to be spending time at their house, I feel like as that father, that is his responsibility to discipline the child. Like, if I was to have a child with a man and we did not work out, me personally, your girlfriend or your wife will not be putting her hands on our child. Like, that is our child. Not saying that, it would be about me having an issue with the woman he's dating, but I don't feel like people should be disciplining other people's kids. That's how I feel personally. Like, that's our child. If they're getting out of line and misbehaving, then my ex or the child's father should be the one to discipline and spank them. And if they are not behaving, then we need to come up with another strategy on why this kid is acting out. And I do feel like sometimes with situations like what you're dealing with, the kid may be acting out or having issues because the mom and dad is not together anymore. And I just don't always feel like disciplining your child is always the right, maybe the right road to take with that. And I feel like, people always say, well, if I keep your child, I'm gonna spank them, this and this. No, I think I feel really strong about this, that nobody should be disciplining my child. Like, if my kid is that bad, they don't need to be going nowhere anyways. And it's a very touchy subject. It really is, because everybody has different preferences. And I feel like if you're gonna let your husband's, or your ex's partner whoop your kids, then child care workers should be able to whoop kids. You just let anybody spank your kids and your kids go to daycare. That's just like the child care worker spanking your kids. Your child is with this child care worker from 8 to 5 when you work every day, and your kids being bad. What's the difference between them whooping them and your ex's girlfriend whooping them? So I just feel like that's something that you should sit down and talk to him about, or y'all might have you and him sit down and talk about it, and then have a meeting with her so that you're on that same page. Because you never want your kid to be in the hands of somebody and they spank them too hard and it leaves a bruise, or something gets messy out of that, then it's this whole big deal going to court. It's stuff unnecessary. So my personal suggestion for you would be to sit down and talk to your ex about how you feel about it. Talk to him about it. You guys come up with the agreement, and then if necessary to involve his girlfriend in the conversation, you should do that. But it's all in you and your ex's preference, because that, at the end of the day, that is you and his child. So I hope that helps you. If anybody has any questions to that same extent about disciplining your child or how you feel about that, please feel free to post. I would like to know what people do in situations where you are no longer with your baby's father or your baby's mother, and how do you do discipline when another party is involved with your child. So thanks again for your question, and I'll see you soon.